What is up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Welcome back to Benzinga Live. As you can hear, my voice is a little bit gone, so bear with me today. I may be a little bit more quiet than normal, but luckily, I've got my good friend David Green hanging out in the background. We'll be doing some live trading with David. We'll talk about some of the top headlines of the day. We opened up earlier today and have reversed throughout the day, so a lot of people seeing that getting a bounce here in the last hour or so. Great to see two reversals today. We'll have a lot to talk about with David. Volatile day. Talk about what he's been trading today and what he's looking at this week. Hope everyone had a good long weekend. It's definitely good to be back here in the Benzinga office. So let's go ahead, roll that intro, and bring David on.
This is Benzinga Live. Spencer Israel and producer AB. What's up, everybody? How we doing?
Someone told me buy high, sell higher. So.
Let's get Matt Hammond on the show to talk some IPOs. Jake Wojacek from Trend Spider. We have a breaking news.
Mr. Green, how are you doing today?
Good morning, Aaron and my Benzinga family. What's up, everybody? Wow, what a wackadoodle day to start the shorting week, huh?
It really was. I'll be completely honest with you. I didn't even know we had the second reversal. I thought we were still red.
Oh, yeah, I just heard you talking and you said we opened up and we were down. Well, that ship has sailed.
I know, and because last time I checked, we were down about 0.7% on the Qs and the SPY, and then now we're back up. So what's been going on?
Yeah, we had a huge. Don't ask me. I have no idea, but right around, I don't know. And usually 10:30 is a time. A lot of people in my room tell me around 10:30 is when you can get a nice reversal in the market, and we certainly did, right? I mean, 389 in the SPYs to 394 in the SPYs in, I don't know, 30 minutes. So this morning was just a bit of a mess and everything. Wackadoodle. What's up, Hex? What's going on, everybody? I miss Spencer too, man. Everybody misses Spencer. That's for sure. Myrna shell short on the 200. Let's take a look. Yeah, let's get it out in Myrna at 137. What's up, everybody? So we are trading the markets live as we are with you on every Tuesday morning. All right, Kevin. Good job today. Thank you for your help. Yeah, we kind of avoided everything this morning. We tried to get some stocks a little cheaper early this morning and kind of about broke even, but it's been a good, since this market started rallying, I want to show you guys a couple of really nice trades that set up for us. What's up, Mike? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Everybody knows that everything we do in this room is about technical analysis, and we are posting every trade live as we do them. So we caught two nice spider trades. One when we rallied up to our 65 EMA. You know, we went up 2 points, got to the 65 EMA, we pulled down $1. And then another one, 10 minutes after that, we hit our 200 EMA at 394 and pulled down 50 cents and $1 from there. Now we're kind of just in a mess. There's really not a lot going on here. We have an order to short the SPYs if we get up to this 395 and our pivot point. So it's been a good trading morning. Right now we're just in the middle of nowhere's land. Was I with you last week when we did the NVIDIA puts? I don't remember if we were with you guys or not.
I'm not quite sure. I don't believe
either.
so.
Were we together last week? We were, right?
We were, yeah.
Well, we were looking at Shelly, you're in pain? Oh, no.
She says she's in pain because they're out of donuts for 2 days.
Oh, crap. That's no good, man.
Everybody's out of donuts where you're at? You can't go to a different...
That's too funny. So we were looking at NVIDIA a little longer term, and we went to our monthly chart, and we had a level down at this 124 level. So what we did last week is we sold a 125 put and a 120 put, thinking that I want to start a investment position in NVIDIA if it gets down around that 124 level. Again, guys, we don't give investment advice, yada, 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 yada. But so we sold some puts against this. We still have, I'll show you where we are right now. We sold this put last week, the 120 for $2.11. It's now trading at 95 cents. And we already took off the 125s we did last week. We sold for $1.07. We bought them back at 30 cents. So a couple of levels we were looking at in NVIDIA because we wanted to be long, a little longer term. We got way oversold this morning. We are Let's go to the daily and the SPYs now, everybody. And we're just kind of in nowhere's land, right? Not a good-looking chart on the daily. I can tell you that. We have been in this, nice downtrend since we broke about 407. And I'll go to even to my weekly, and you can see we're still in nowhere's land. A retest of the lows is not out of the question, guys and girls. I mean, again, we're not Nostradamus here, but, a retest of those 363 levels is not out of the question. We'll see what happens in the coming weeks. We're hanging on the monthly right now, which is right around this 392 level. So hanging around there. Myrna dove down. All right, so cancel our order if Myrna dove down and cancel the spiders. All right, guys and girls. Anyone have any questions about anything? Aaron, anything you guys want to talk about?
I'm seeing if we have any tickers flying in the chat. I mean, I do like. So what about if we go to a weekly? Is that what we're looking at here? No, this is
in the SPYs. Right now we got a 5 minute.
Yeah. So I'm curious on the weeklies what the levels are. Is it just right back to the lows, or is it a little bit below that?
Well, look, it's moved up a little now. So when we initially got in down here, it was like 363. Now it's 367. So 367 is the level. First in the weekly, and the monthly, God forbid, we got 342. Look, anything is possible. There's still a ton of uncertainty in this market, right? We have a Fed meeting again this month, right? I think coming up. I think 50 to 75 is probably priced in. One thing that we've been thinking about and talking about in the room is that I still think this is a great time to invest long term. If you're Aaron's age or anyone younger, anything like that, you should be buying stocks and just putting them away. This is going to pass. There's no question about it.
Yeah. I am seeing some individual names flying in the chat. George K wants to check out Netflix.
All right, we will. Let's talk about Rivian first, because this is
okay. Yeah, I saw Joey G talking about Rivian, someone else as well.
And this is approaching a couple of gigantor levels, bullish wise, right? If we look on a daily chart, we cleared this. Let's just call it 34, kind of hanging right around that daily 34 level. So if we hold 34, let's go weekly. Same thing. So we're at gigantor levels in daily and weekly in Rivian right now. I don't know if I'm going to run in and buy it here, but there's a couple of big levels, and then we got room to 47. So if I'm going to do anything in Rivian at these levels, I'd be looking at some options a little further out, maybe 40 calls or 45 calls, but it's at a couple very, very important levels where we are right now. And, Friday it started, and you're getting some follow through today. So at a couple of important spots here. I certainly would not be shorting it. And we'll see if we can get going a little bit above here. Netflix, somebody mentioned.
Yep.
We were looking at Netflix a while back and talking about, it wasn't Netflix, it was Amazon. But let's go right to the daily and Netflix. Again, with the market being down, it's dragged this thing down. We broke 224. That was a pretty big level on a daily. Again, big level on a weekly. All these things that we're talking about, guys. So we have a monthly level coming up in Netflix. Let's check out where that is. Certainly probably be worth a trade down there. Right around 201. There you go. So 201, 202 is probably a nice spot to start looking at Netflix for a trade. The bottom line with everything that we're looking at, guys, and everything that you guys are going to put up, and everything's going to trade with the market. No matter how good stocks are, companies are, whatever it is, the market goes down, everything's going down. That's the bottom line. So you pick the stocks that you like long term. Ooh, look at the spiders. Look what just happened, Aaron. We just went up $1.50 in the spiders.
Holy cow.
Literally in this 5 minute bar. We just went up $1.50. So you want to talk about volatility, guys, and it's always great for us. I love volatility.
What was the pre-market high on the spies?
I mean, we were this morning around 394.30. So call it 394.
Okay.
We were right around. And we just exactly tested that. So check it out. This is the second time at the 200 EMA. So kind of a double top. 394.05. Kind of just missed it. But here's what we'll be doing, guys. Yeah. Let's throw a little short out at 395, guys. This is our pivot point. It's $1.50 from where we are right now. I think if we spike up there, we want to short a little for a trade.
Sorry, you were saying something before I asked what the pre-market high was.
Well, what were we talking about?
I don't know. I forget.
I was just talking about the overall market. And my strong feeling, and it always is this is going to pass. It will pass. So if you're looking to buy, and again, good stocks, right? I want to show you guys some bad stocks that people have gotten involved in lately that still hurting from. Let me just get this order out. 395.05. If we spike up there for a little trade. Every trade that we do, guys, we post live in the room as it's happening. I'll give you guys a chance to come visit us in the room, and we are having a gigantic webinar tomorrow night, which is for free for everybody. We'll talk about that before we leave. Yeah, again, Rivian is at a very, very, very big spot, guys. We did Netflix, okay. So again, Shop is something that we're looking at. I want to talk about Shop for a couple of minutes because we sold some. Bunch of people in the room sold some downside puts in it because we kind of like it at these levels. So we looked at Shop. Brian, what were the ones we sold in the room? 23 puts. If we go down $6 from here. Yeah. We sold some October 21st, 23.50 puts, which puts us long the stock at 23.50. And I think we got over $1 on that. So I'm kind of interested in Shop here, especially if we get near that 23.50 to 25 level. I think Shop's okay long term. So the way we did that, for those of you who aren't familiar with it, we sold a put, which means either we're going to get long the stock at the price we sold the put, which is $23.50, which I love, or we'll collect a premium on every single option that we did. Yes, there's lots of Fed talk all this week, so you got to be very, very careful what's going on. Look, this is the time we're more conservative. We're waiting for bigger moves in the market. It's just how you have to be. BBBY, really gewelt. Yeah. Well.
Yeah, that one's down a bunch today.
Well, it's down a bunch since it went to $30, right? We always tell you guys every week, right? Don't get involved in any of these things. You can trade them, but don't get caught in the FOMO and start buying any of these things. What do we have lately, right? The HKD that went to $2,500. I don't know how it's still trading at that price. At 99, but there were a couple of other ones, guys. You guys remember in my room? Give me some of those other ones. GCT was one, I think.
Oh, there's been a bunch.
GCT $61 went to
HKD was the big one. You had Bed Bath and Beyond. I mean,
HP was it, guys? What is that one? SP. There was one SP something that also was absolutely ridiculous. I can't remember the name of it. Anyway,
or SM,
SHPH,
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, here we go. $126, guys and girls. Okay. Trading at 12. Another one that was don't get involved in these things. They never let us short them. Right? They're never shortable. STBX, another one, 46 to 3. So they get you sucked into these IPOs, and if you don't get out of them, you're just hurting for certain. Just don't get involved in those things, guys and girls. They're worth trading, but please.
How about have you checked out Tesla's chart recently?
Let's take a look. I know a lot of people were more upset with Kathy Wood now because she sold all of Tesla to buy NVIDIA, I think 2 weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
NVIDIA is down like 20% since she got into that. So let's check out the daily in Tesla. I think Tesla's another one of them stocks just because it's Tesla that whenever you have gigantic dips in this thing, it's okay to buy a little bit, right? We recently spiked right down to our pivot point at 265 on a daily chart, guys and girls. Let's go weekly, see where we are. Yeah, we held the weekly in this right around 265 also. So there's your line in the sand in Tesla, right around 265. It held it on a daily and a weekly. So if we hold that level, it's okay. You got 230 below that, right? So when you guys ask me about stocks and is it a good buy, it depends on what your time frame is. We're trading here. And again, we all have long-term investments. I help everybody in my room with those. But for the most part, we're traders here. So, we're looking at intraday moves. I can have a conversation with anybody who wants about longer-term stuff. We're going to talk a little bit about that tomorrow night in our webinar, which we'll invite you guys all to. But again, depending on your age and stuff, yeah, I'm not saying the video can't go lower from here, but I have picked a spot where I really want to buy it longer term to start a swing trade in, and I'm fine doing that, Jeff. Either I'm going to collect $2 for every contract they did, or I'm going to be long at $118 by the end of next week. So I believe in the video long term, and here's the gig. Nobody in my room has even looked at thinking about buying the video from $346 to where we are right now. So at some point, it'll be a good investment. And I'm going to pick a spot, and I'm going to start from my long-term investment at that 124 level and add to it down from there and not look at it for a few years.
What was that trade, the exact trade you were talking about doing with NVIDIA?
We did it last week. So we sold a 120 put in the video last week, and we sold it for $2.11. So what that means is if this gets to 120, I'll be long at 118. So that's what we're looking at. We're already up more than 50% on the option, right? We sold it for $2.11, and it's trading at 92 cents. So we can just trade out of it now, and make 50% on the option, but we're up 56%. Thank you, Robert. But again, long term, I don't mind buying the video at that price. And I hear you, Jeff. I mean, look, different strokes for different folks. Go ahead, Aaron.
And right now, I think too, what I like about that is it is, I think relatively a little bit oversold here in NVIDIA. So if you do get a little pop, now all of a sudden you're at what's the stock at the stock's at 136 right now. If you get a little pop, now you're at 145, 150, and then the prospect of going all the way down to 120 is now, even more unlikely.
Yeah, and this has to happen in the next 7 days. So, our first resistance on a daily chart is up at 150.
Yeah, I am seeing, going back to the Fed real quick, I am seeing on CME's watch tool, the odds of a 75 basis point hike have spiked up those odds now at 74%, according to CME.
I think that's what we're getting. I think 75 is priced into the market already.
Yeah.
That's what I think. And again, Jeff, when I do this, it'll be, whatever. If I get in at 118 and it goes to 140, I'll sell it. So even for long term, whatever. We did the option for a trade. I don't think it's going to get to that level. We're just going to collect $2 for every contract that we did anyway. Yeah, exactly, Jeff.
Any other tickers in the chat that we want to check out right now? Well, we've got David on. I know,
And just another thing, hold on. Jeff, another thing, okay? If I get into a position in the video, I'll sell covered calls on the upside to keep reducing my price or getting it taken away from me. So I don't have a problem doing that either. There's ways around every trade that you do. What up, MD? Roblex. Hold on, guys and gals. Do you want to short Roblex? No. Don't even trade Roblex. Guys, this is a 30-cent move, Robert. You're not trading. You're not shorting Roblex, no. Guys, for everybody who's just joining us that's new, I will share all the technical analysis that we use with you guys. Okay, and you can bump them in your charts or not. And we'll talk a lot more about this tomorrow night. And I'm also invite you guys to come into the room. We use a 9 EMA, a 15, a 65, a 30, and a 200. So I have 5 moving averages in my charts. In addition to that, we use relative strength and pivot points. That's everything that we put in our charts. That's it. And then we're spending all day looking for opportunities to make trades. Spider's pulling back now, guys. Yeah. I still think this is going to be a slow week, Aaron. I think this is probably the last vacation week. People stretch it out for the rest of this week.
I know. And I think, too, with, people are awaiting, of course, Fed September 21st. We have CPI next week. I think there are still things up in the air that people have been waiting and been anxious to get back to like full-fledged, full-force markets instead of, the summer lower trading volume. But I agree that, it still might take these next couple of weeks before, everyone gets back in.
Agreed, 100%. But, again, it's been Robert Silverman. How many days have you been trading with us? I'm going to say the last 3 weeks have been, whatever. I don't like talking about it. But the trading has been really, 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 really good.
What so we talked about Roblox earlier, and we talked about Kathy Wood. Can we look at ARK real quick? Just ARKK.
Yeah. It's approaching. It's approaching its recent lows. I mean, just bouncing a little bit now, but I think 36 and change was its recent lows, something like that. Let's go right to the weekly and see what we
I mean, still relatively low on the daily and weekly RSI, but not quite oversold.
I'll go to daily. 35 is like I'm not going to say all-time low, but weekly. Yeah, no, I mean, again, so when you go to a daily chart, right, we have a 36 RSI, which on a daily chart, you could say is low, right? It's rare that it's going to get much lower than that. I mean, even when it made its lows back here, look at the relative strength. It's right around where we were right now. So it's rare on a daily chart that you're going to get a relative strength below 20. It could happen, and when it does, that's when you want to be involved.
I mean, what's excuse me, what's crazy with ARK is if you go back all the way to, like, you have to go back to January 2019, you know, all even leading up into COVID, this thing was trading in the 50s.
Yep.
And it just shows you how quickly growth has kind of gone out of favor over the last year, really since last November is when ARK and a lot of the high growth stocks, you know, started tapping out. Really, I'm looking at ARK's chart back in February. But a lot of the other growthy stocks.
November of 2020.
Here. November. It might be November 21.
21. Yeah. So 21. You know, what are we down? I don't know. 80%, something like that.
Let's see. I'll tell you real quick.
125 to 40. That's 80 points. 66%, something like that.
74. I'm seeing from top to well, where we're at right now at its lows was a little bit more than that.
74%. Not good. All right. I see a lot of snows. Let's go look at snow. I see a lot of snows. 172. Let's go right to the monthly first. I noted $405. Well, we made a low of 110. All right, let's go daily and see where we are right now. A little better snow, but check this out, Jeff. Check out snow, okay? It hit our 30-minute EMA on a daily at exactly 166. Check out this chart. I don't think it broke it by $1, right? So 163 or so is good, right? If we get down to like 163, that would be good. That's our daily chart. But off our 30 EMA, this thing gave a $12 bounce, which is nice. So yeah, around in the low 160s, I kind of like that myself. Snowbird down from $400.
Holy cow! I'm just looking at Ulta's chart right now. I didn't realize Ulta's at like all-time highs right now. This looks really strong.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know any stock was at any stock besides like Chevron or Oxy were close to their all-time highs.
Yeah, check this out, man. Well, all-time high looks to me like 438 or so. What Ulta's cosmetics, right?
Yeah, makeup and skincare.
So here's one thing I want you guys to look at, right? Put all these moving averages in and look at daily, weekly, and monthly charts. Because check this out. Again, guys, I'm not going in and putting these things in afterwards. Ulta hit her 30 EMA at 329, 330. Check that out. I mean, almost to the penny, right? Check that out. At 330, it's up 100 points from that. That was 4 months ago. But look at that technical analysis. Isn't that crazy? That's insane. Bop this stuff into your moving averages, guys. We do a lot of swing trading when we hit daily, weekly, and monthly levels, right? First Solar is up $2. What happened in First Solar? All right, but First Solar hit the pivot point too here, guys, at 129.50. Did anyone have an order out? So here's the stock we were just looking at, guys and girls, right? And we went from 127 to 129.50, hit our pivot point, and just gave between 50 cents and $1 on a pullback. So when stocks are going up and they hit our resistance, we want to be short. And that's exactly what that stock just did. Hit our resistance, gave us a little pullback. Perfect. Spy is stepping up. Let's take a look, see what we're doing in the Spider-Mans. Yeah, we're getting going a little bit. So we have a short up here, guys, in the Spiders. Okay, that would be a big spike up. We have a short up there. The reason we have a short up there, especially if it goes fast, the odds of this thing hitting that and then turning down and going lower are probably about 90%. Everything we do is about putting the odds in our favor for day trading. Guys, let me ask this. How many people we have with us here, Aaron?
About 300.
300, okay. How many of you guys, 300, are actively day trading? Give me a number one. Pop in some ones there if you guys are actively day trading. See how many people are actively day trading that we're dealing with. Look, I'd be very happy, guys, if the spiders closed around this range here for today. That would be great. So either we have a big lag. Oh, there we go. I was going to say, Aaron, either we have a big lag.
Or not a lot of people are trading.
So a lot of people are, right? A lot of people are actively trading. There we go. Okay. Now, we do not claim to have the holy grail, guys and girls. Right? Nobody does. Let's just put it that way. But if you're not using some kind of technical analysis to trade, what's up, Terry? What's up, Terry B? If you're not using some kind of technical analysis to trade, you can't. It's just impossible to day trade. You know, some people use, they look at the market makers. To me, that doesn't work anymore. Times and sales, volume. And again, if you have stuff that works, that's a beautiful thing. I always tell my people, if you have anything that works, please, we'll add it. Just learning, excellent, Paolo. For anyone who's just learning, and let's pop this up there right now if we can, Aaron. WSGTA.com. Tomorrow night, guys, we are doing a free webinar at 7 p.m. And it's going to be a special one because tomorrow night we're going to talk about what mistakes you're making and how to fix those mistakes. And I think we have like 500 people registered already. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a big one because we will talk a little technical analysis and stuff, but in an hour and a half, guys, I will fix a lot of things that you're doing wrong if you listen to us. But yeah, tomorrow's going to be a very special webinar. It doesn't cost anything anybody to come. Come bop in there. Janine, I get a lot of people that come to us that are down and have been down a lot of money. Robert's a perfect example in my room. There's a guy in my room named Robert. He'll be with us tomorrow night. He'll tell you his story. But he has plenty of money, but he was losing a lot of it. He came to us like 3 weeks ago. He's made money every single day since he's been in the room.
Hell yeah. Yeah, and I think a lot of people, you know, they get drawn into it by seeing success stories and they see a strategy or whatever, and they think it's, you know, going to be easy, and it's really not. And so, you know, I think finding people like yourself, David, like Peter, that have experience, that have know what they're talking about when it comes to the charts, really makes all the difference in the world. Then you're not out there kind of blindly trading. You really understand the charts and are able to do these to get winning trades, but more importantly, kind of repeatedly do that, not just do it once every 5 trades. You're not gonna make money doing that.
Yeah, that's the bottom line. And a lot of people do that, Aaron. They'll have 3 or 4 good trades in a row, and the 5th trade will more than wipe out all the good trades that they had. So it's just as much about trade management as it is about money management, right? This is not easy. Mike just said it. Yeah, it's not. This is hard, and it's work, which a lot of people think you turn on a machine and you start whipping stuff around and you're going to start making money. This is hard. It's work. If you want to be good at it, it's a job. I tell people it takes 3 to 6 months to learn how to do this without bullshitting anybody, because that's how long it takes, right? And you got to have a mentor who's going to be there and help you and walk you through it. That's the big thing, guys. You know, we sell a course, and in the course that we sell, we mentor people once a week, and they can come in and ask questions and stuff. I'm gonna invite everyone here. You want to come in my room for the next couple of days? Come and hang out in the room with us for a couple of days. And that's what you have to avoid, Jeff. Jeff pointed out something really good, right? Made $180,000 last year, was down $100,000 this year. You just want to try and be consistent and not have those big swings. That's what you want to do. And, you know, nobody who has ever been with us has ever blown up a trading account if they followed our rules. Nobody. Because we're never going to have enough losing trades in a row for that to happen.
Quantum's asking, is there a link for the night session? I just dropped the if you go to WSGTA.com, it will redirect you to this link. I'm dropping it in the chat. You should be able to sign up there. You can also shoot David an email if you're interested in the room.
Pop up the email too. Here's the Wall Street Global guys. Here's the webinar, emergency webinar.
I'll go full screen on that so you can see. Yep, there you go.
All you gotta do is hit register and fill out your stuff and you're in. So come and hang out with us tomorrow night. That doesn't cost anything, and we'll get you straightened out tomorrow night. We'll try to anyway. My website, guys. Send me an email. You can come hang out in the room for the next couple of days. All right.
All right, Dave. I don't know if you've got a couple more minutes, but we might have a couple more tickers in the chat, and then we'll let you go.
What's up, Shannon? How are you? This is the most choppy market I've ever seen. It is, Jeff. I mean, the last 6 months, things have been wackadoodle, but again, and I hate even talking about it, we have been consistently doing well because it's just about patience and discipline. That's the bottom line. All right, let's do a few more stocks.
All right, we'll wait for that delay. I'm sure we'll get some tickers flying in.
Oh, I thought we had some.
Wait, well, I can go back up. I think
it's a judgment-free zone. Yeah, guys and girls, that's another thing. That's a good point, guys and girls. If you don't know a lot about trading, we're going to help you. If you know a lot about trading and you've been losing money, we're going to help you. If you have everything down pat and you're doing wonderful, maybe we can add something to it. If you can get me straight in the night, you're the best teacher ever. I'll tell you what, Roland, I'll take that challenge. All right? You show up tomorrow night, and I will take that challenge. I'm not saying you're going to start making money tomorrow night, but I can fix a lot of the things that you're doing wrong if you listen 100%.
I'm seeing someone's asking about Western Union. This is a stock I've not looked at. I don't even know. I'm looking at the company profile right now on Benzinga Pro. Founded in 1851. It's got to be one of the old. It's got to be one of the oldest stocks.
That's when I started trading.
Oh, really?
Look, Western Union is dead money. Check this thing out. Daily, weekly, monthly. That is just ugly.
I mean, with your PayPals, your Squares, crypto, I don't really know what Western. I mean, I know people still use wires to send money back to their home countries when they do that. But outside of that, I don't know when the last time I've heard of someone using a Western Union or wiring money.
I don't think I've ever looked at that stock. Maybe 20 years ago. Tesla short 276.16. Let me look. That is daily. That's way too close for me. But I like the 278 up here, Bob. 278.27. You're a daily. I like that. We can put an order out in Tesla. 278.
I did see on the other end of the spectrum, Airbnb from Western Union
definitely take a look at that.
To a big growth.
So for you guys, when you come into the trading room, guys, you'll see that we all trade together and we post every single trade that we're doing before we get into it. What was that one now, Aaron?
Airbnb, ABNB.
Yeah. We were involved in the IPO in this thing, and we did very well. I don't know if
ABNB, B as in boy. Yep, there you go.
Yeah. I don't know if I've traded it since then. Didn't they have earnings come out a while back?
They had earnings, I want to say, about a month ago. I think they were fine.
We were looking at it. I think we talked about that before the earnings came
out.
I
think so too, yeah.
And we said we liked it.
Well, it looks like it's sitting right there on its lowest moving average right now.
I think we were talking when it was like this 115 level, right? And we said if it got above that level, you could get a nice bop in it, and it did bop up. Yeah, now it's kind of just sitting. We go daily. It's all over the place. I got no opinion where it's sitting right now. I mean, I'd certainly be an investor if we went back to $86 again.
Yeah.
But, for now, it's probably just going to trade with the market. Nat Gas. Let's look at Nat Gas. Because it
looks like Airbnb has been weirdly flat, too, over the past.
It has. We do a lot of Nat Gas.
What's up with that?
Boyle is the ETF for Nat Gas. And it's weird because they came out with something. It's going down for some reason, and it really should be going up. But 72.50 is a spot in Boyle. We'll start buying it. Let me see what that lines up with UNG. So where are we? I mean, UNG probably worth a little shot at 28. And then let's look weekly. 27. Yeah, so 25 would be a real good spot for UNG. So 25, Joe, I'd probably be a little patient and wait till it got down there. I like that. Boyle is the widow maker. We've done very well trading Boyle. Again, you just got to be very patient and disciplined.
What about Labu? I haven't heard you trade Labu in a while.
Yeah, we haven't. I want to show you something in Labu from this morning, though, guys, real quick. So we had a pivot point down here, and we tried to get it early in the morning, right around 84.50 when it was spiking down, and it got to like 85. Just missed it and gave a $4 trade off that when it bounced back up. So, again, everything we do is about technicals. Labu and Lab D. Yeah, we haven't looked at these in a long time. Probably because they don't do anything.
I saw someone in the chat asking about Lulu. We looked at Ulta earlier. I don't know. I feel like similar consumer base.
Lulu had the earnings light, I think, last week.
Yeah, they were strong.
Yeah. They had their earnings last. Check this out, guys. Did this happen this day? I don't know if this happened when the earnings came out, but 284, we had our weekly level in Lulu. You guys in the room remember? Did we spike down there that day? It looks like we
did. That day, the market overall was trading down, and Lulu at one point that day was trading down about 3 or 4%. Started to come back in the afternoon, and then the earnings hit, and it popped all the way up. So if you would have bought that bottom, I want to say it was around like noon or 1 p.m. maybe that day. You would have made a lot of money just in one day trading the stock, not let alone options or anything.
Well, check it out. It hit our 200 EMA on a weekly chart, Aaron, almost to the penny that day. That is messed up. That's why I laugh at people who tell me that technical analysis doesn't work.
Yeah, and so I want to address this comment in the chat from Janine. She said, we spend a fortune at Lulu for her teen, but the PE just seems too high. And I understand that. And you want to buy stocks, that are relatively cheap. And I hear that. But what I will say is that oftentimes there's a reason certain stocks have higher PEs, and it's because there's certain growth baked in. There's expectations that, okay, this is a good company. It's going to continue growing. And historically, there have been times where like you could have bought Apple stock in 2011, but looked at the PE and it was 55 and said, no, you know what, it's a little expensive. I don't want to buy it. And so I'm not saying that, I'm not saying, basically all I'm saying is a PE for me is never an end all be all. I won't let it discredit me from buying something, and I won't buy it just because of it.
Yeah, 100%. And there are stocks that grow in. Look, what was it? Amazon, Netflix, they had PEs in the hundreds, if not thousands at some point, right? And some stocks will grow into it. Guys, what do you just have trading in the room? Look at the SPYs, everybody. The SPYs just spiked down 2 points. You want to talk about volatility? I mean, check that out. We were just looking beautiful. We just spiked down 2 points in 5 minutes. Guys, what do you have in the room? Someone just said you had posted something in the room. Talk to me, gooses. Well, as long as you guys got it, who cares? Yeah, again, Janie, sometimes stocks PEs. Hasn't Tesla had a PE of like 5,000 for the last 10 years?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like Tesla, if you would have bought in 2019, if you'd still be up 1,000% in Tesla stock or whatever Tesla stock is up. But back then the PE was super high too. But yeah, and I mean, I think that oftentimes like that it's just the case. It's like the best. I'm not going to say all the best companies have high PEs, but a lot of times the ones that the market, institutional investors are expecting to grow a lot, seeing earnings growth throughout the next few years, you'll see that PE be a little bit higher. People are willing to pay the premium and buy that stock, even though it might be a little bit more expensive than other stocks.
Exactly right.
Just like people 100%. Are willing to pay the premium at Lululemon for the $150 leggings as opposed to going to Target and getting the $70 one. It's like there's a reason people are willing to do that.
No question. No question about it. Yeah, and Lulu's not going anywhere. It's one of those companies that's Lulu, Nike, they're not going anywhere. So, wait, you had a 1 hour 65 in Tesla? Hold on. Let me just show you guys something. 1 hour. Ah, check that out. That is gorgeous. So we're looking to trade Tesla on the short side, guys, right? So 5-minute chart, we had absolutely nothing. So another thing, guys, you got to learn how to change time frames when you're looking at day trade, because something we might not have on a 5-minute chart, we might have on a different chart. So check out the 1 hour in Tesla. It exactly hit 276 and just went down $2.50. Beautiful trade. Someone in the room called it out. Gorgeous. 276. It went down $2. Nice job in the room, guys. Spectacular. So again, this is all about being patient, being disciplined, waiting for things to set up, learning how to read your charts, right? Love the East Coast. I don't have an East Coast accent, do I? Forget about it.
I don't know. That sometimes you'll let a little Long Island slip out.
Yep, that's good, Roland. Flipping through the times like I'm in a time machine. That's what you have to do. You just go to a 2-point trade off the 1 hour in Tesla. Spectaculicious. And look, guys and girls, let's not think that everybody makes money on every single trade that you do. We don't either. Okay. Sometimes we get stopped out of trades. That's why we have a stop order on every single trade that we do. Right. But we're also not getting into a trade until the odds are in our favor of that trade working by using our technical analysis. And if you don't have a reason to get into a trade, you should not be making a trade, right? So before coffee. So anytime before we get into a trade, why are we doing it? And Brian in my room posted, guys, look at the 1 hour, 65 EMA in Tesla. Let's put an order out to short it. And it just paid, $1, $1.50. So everything, if you're day trading, again, my suggestion is you should be using technical analysis to do something. Texas accent. Guys, I grew up on Long Island, so I'm a Long Island boy. I grew up my whole life. We're down in Florida now for 6 years. So
there you go.
That accent ain't ever going anywhere.
You're the only are you the only New York transplant in Florida?
Yes, I am. I think there's 2 now. Yes.
There's 2?
Especially
you started a trend. You're the first New York Jew in Florida.
Yes, I'm the only one.
Oh man. Well, it's 12:15, Dave. I've loved having you on as always. Pleasure. Thanks for helping us talk about, understand, dig through these volatile markets.
It's my pleasure, guys. We're gonna go a couple of hours tomorrow night. So, yes, I'm in Boca. WallStreetGlobalTradingAcademy.com. Please sign up. Come be with us tomorrow night. I want to see all 300 of you guys there. We're gonna
do it, guys. You will not regret it. Dropping that link in the chat one more time. And again, that email dgreen@927 will pop that up there again. David,
all right,
enjoy
guys.
the rest of your day, man.
I will see a bunch of you tomorrow night and a bunch of you in the room. I'll start sending you guys the link in 15 minutes. Thanks,
Stay
Aaron.
green.
Have a good
No problem. All right, guys, that was Mr. David Green. Go hit those links in the chat to learn more from him. Yeah, if you're just joining us, I apologize at the top of the show. My voice is a little gone from the weekend. Hoping it gets better tonight, so I'm back to normal tomorrow. If anyone's got any home remedies, suggestions, so far I've seen someone said lemon, ginger, and honey in hot water. I honestly, I think the only one of those ingredients that I have at my place is hot water. I don't think I have any of the other 3 things. But all right, let's talk about some of the big headlines from the day. And as always, if anyone's got any stocks, tickers, crypto coins they would like to check out, throw them in the chat. But I've been watching on my short list of stocks, watching some clean energy names, some natty gas names. I do think as energy supply remains strained throughout the world, we just saw the news that Russia is cutting off the Nord Stream gas pipe to Europe. I do think natty gas will continue to trend higher. There will be times where it gets overextended and then falls down, which is what we've seen throughout the past couple of weeks. Need a flask? I don't think a flask would help me right now. Boil's so choppy. So we'll pull up the natty gas and what I'm looking at. But on that short list, of course, some of my biggest holdings: Apple, Google, basically the big tech names I still think are going to be the drivers of the market here. And you will see, that was something that I think as the market started rebounding, I started to get a little more bullish. One of the things that I really liked was the fact that Apple, which of course is the biggest weighting in the S&P 500, makes up so much of these different indices. Seeing it get back to nearly all-time highs gave me confidence that, okay, now people are buying Apple up here. But we've seen Apple, just like the rest of the market, sell back off, start to come back lower. So now that's kind of changed the thesis out here. Dave's asking, what do we think about the ETH merge upcoming? I'd be remiss to talk about the ETH merge just myself. With that said, that does sound like big news. I know, there's been some different developments, merges, new, releases on ETH and ETH 2.0, all these different things. I'll need to get a crypto expert on, potentially even an ETH expert, and we'll talk about the upcoming merge. In other news, so one retail stock, there's a couple of retail stocks. And when I say retail stocks, I'm just talking about stocks that have a higher interest among retail investors than the average stock. So, if you take a DWAC, for example, the one I'm talking right now, has a little bit of a higher average interest among retail investors than, a different random stock on the market. DWAC down 16% today. Looking at it in Benzinga Pro. Go straight from the chart to this news feed. See exactly, all right, what happened here. So we got the first headline hit right at 1 a.m. I mean, you can see this press release went out at 1 a.m. This was on the Benzinga Newswire at 1 a.m., 13 seconds. You can see right here. So Digital World Acquisition Corp, DWAC, of course, SPAC, Special Purpose Acquisition Company. If you're new, essentially just a company that is raising money to then take another company public. So basically an angel investor company, a blank check company, but one that raises money on the public market, SPAC. So you buy the stock for $10 before it finds a partner. So you buy DWAC. They team up with True Social to take True Social company. I probably didn't do the best job explaining that, but if anyone still has questions on what a SPAC is or how that operates, let me know, and we can go through that again. Bless you, Randy. Okay. Could face the risk of being liquidated as the special purpose acquisition vehicle, which was to merge with Trump Media and Technology, the company behind Donald Trump's True Social platform, failed to get shareholder support for a year's extension to complete the deal, Reuters reported. So it sounded like the company went out to shareholders, said, so basically they went to the shareholders saying, hey, there's some regulatory hurdles, some obstacles. It may take us longer to get this deal through. Is it okay if we push the deadline for this deal back a year? Shareholders basically said no. And if you look at the chart, it's not hard to see why, right? Because for most people that bought this, they didn't buy it at $10. They bought it at some point. So it ran the stock DWAC ran all the way up to 175 at its high, closed the next day at around $83, traded really above $50, and which was very rare for a SPAC, even after they announced a partner, because it's happened a bunch on the market over the past 2 years that these things pop up. Some of them have fallen through, but either way, rare to see a SPAC trading up this high. I mean, you have Lucid Motors, you have a couple exceptions. You can see the stock was trading around $52, ran all the way back up to about $100 in March 2022. Then you got this big sell-off. So for most shareholders like that bought up here, they're way underwater, right? If you're buying the stock at $80 and now it's at $20, and now they're talking about pushing this out a year, you're saying, no, I want this deal to get done. I want this to pop from $20. I want to see this deal get done so I can sell it. And if not, get back to my cost basis, if not break even, at least make a little bit of money back, at least recoup some losses. Yeah, Hex Pony, I'm kind of thinking that too. That's what I'm worried about, is that if I keep going, it might not get better tonight, and then I'm just dealing with it longer than if I just chill. How about this? I'll just try to talk. I'll just try to talk a little bit more subdued. Give my voice a little rest. Try to do this for a few minutes. I'll see if Mitch can. We in the other big headlines for the day. So the first big headline I saw from this morning was actually on the Europe side. So I don't know how much you guys are following the story in Britain. Just go straight to sleep. Yeah. I'm going to try to drink some like tea or something. I'll figure it out. I'm not too worried about it, but that's been my experience in the past. Anytime I've lost my voice is that if I don't let it rest, it'll just stay bad. Yeah, I saw that. I was going to talk about that too. The Weeknd lost his voice at a concert. But if you're a pro, I mean, most singers and like people at tour and even like Broadway people, like some of those people like sing like every night and they keep their voice. They have different teas and whatnot they use and vocal exercises to keep their voice. Very impressive if you ask me. All right. So DWAC basically failed to get this extension from its shareholders, seeing its share price down. I mean, I don't know. I've been kind of a hater of this stock since the get-go, just because I think there have been a lot of regulatory kind of red flags that are saying, okay, maybe this isn't as cut and dry, as easy to get this deal done as possible. Voodoo's saying I should learn sign language. I do know how to at least sign my name in sign language. AARON is my name. AA. Oh, I could teach Aaron Thomas how to sign his name too, because we have the same name. Yeah, I've been a hater of this stock. Don't love it of here. $20. I mean, I think it's more likely than not this deal doesn't go through. I think even if it does go through, I think the value of that Truth Social company is next to nothing. I mean, we've talked about on the show before the problem with these alternative, social media platforms and how essentially every single different one, and there's been a lot of different similar ones, right? Gab, Parler, now Truth Social have all failed to really, I'm not saying have failed as a concept or a platform because they have users. I'm saying have failed to really like catch fire, go mainstream, get a lot of users, and then thus eventually make a lot of money. So as an investor, I'm not excited in it, even if I think this deal goes through, and I don't think it's going through. So then why would I be interested in it at all? But I also, with that said, have never wanted to short it because it's just one of those crazy stocks. No, I don't need a Red Bull. I'm not tired. It's not like I'm tired. It's just literally my, like, the voice, whatever part of your thing is just not working. All right. Other top headlines for the day. Okay, so I was talking about the Europe thing. I don't know how much you guys have been following this, but a new prime minister coming into the UK after Boris Johnson stepped down, Liz Truss. She's coming in, and why we care, at least in terms of financial, stock market perspective. So Britain is now proposing a huge, essentially, energy bailout, which could help alleviate some stress off of households and businesses in England, in Europe. Basically, I don't know if there's any way to really trade this, but a lot of people, especially that have been on the short side, have been talking about this energy situation in Europe. I'm sure if you're on FinTwit, you're on Reddit, you're on one of these places, you've seen people talking about it, and a lot of big bears out there, a lot of people that might be kind of sharing this doom and gloom stuff, saying like, all right, the whole market's going down, we need to short everything. People are now pointing to the energy situation in Europe and saying, all right, this is going to be it. And I have a few thoughts on this. So first of all, and I saw this echoed on Twitter today, not necessarily an original thought of mine, but something that I agree with and something that I've also noticed is that a lot of the same people that have been super bearish over the past 3-4 months or so, the bear cases have kind of shifted, right? Like a few months ago, or at least for some people, it was all about inflation. And then it's about, the consumer demand eventually dropping and all these things. And then now it's like those same people are sharing stuff about the energy. And it's like, all right, I'll hear out any short thesis, but if your thesis is changing every single week, then I don't know how much that thesis holds up. It doesn't seem like very high conviction. I personally would I mean, I don't think we're gonna see Europe like the European economy like completely collapse this winter as energy demand spikes up, as some people would, are basically asserting right now. And I think that's fine. I have been looking at this EPV. It's an ultra short FTSE Europe ETF, and we've spiked all the way up, and it's looking kind of double toppy. So if we start coming back down here, that'd be a great sign for me that, okay, now people are getting out of this short Europe trade. Maybe some signs that people have. See, and Shelly, I like that. I like that. If your thesis hasn't changed, I'm gonna hear you out a lot more and believe your thesis a lot more than if every single week essentially you're just like saying, okay, now this is gonna be the reason we're going down, or that's gonna be the reason we're going down. Yeah, it's my go-to karaoke song for sure. So yeah, I would check out. You guys should check out that proposed energy bill. Big bailout news for small businesses and individuals in UK if that ends up going through. Hopefully take some pressure off of some people over there that have been struggling with these rising energy prices. Maybe help the consumer a little bit over there. Maybe give investors around the world some benefit that, hey, or some confidence, that some, I was going to say benefit of the doubt that, hey, maybe, as bad as things are, maybe we're going to be able to withstand this and be okay, just like we've basically always been. Instead of this is, quite ultimately the end of everything, sell everything. Speaking of the end, I don't know if this is the end of the story for the Bed Bath & Beyond saga in terms of the stock. If it is, it's certainly a very tragic, sad one. But as we've got on the whim here, CFO Gustavo Arnal, former CFO of Bed Bath & Beyond, was passed away over the weekend, Friday afternoon. Later came out, it was reported that he committed suicide off of a building in New York, somehow implicated in an insider trading thing. Usually this wouldn't be news that we would report or talk about on this show, or at Benzinga at all, but because he was a C-suite executive member, and now, of course, you see the stock's reaction to that. And I'll be honest, I haven't dug too much into the actual, insider trading case, what was going on with that. But regardless, you can see the stock's reaction today. I don't know. I mean, it's just sad. I don't know really what else to say about that. Yeah, and I mean, like, some things are bigger than stocks and like stock prices and this. So it sounds like, the guy got into some things he shouldn't have, and I don't know. I mean, I think we'll probably see more and more come out about this, but very, very sad story. Hex Pony saying Ryan Cohen's being sued as well, isn't he, for insider trade? I'm not sure. All right, guys, let me know in the chat. We've got about 20 minutes left. If anyone would have any stocks or anything they would like to check out. Something that I've been watching, something that I've been really interested in recently has been Bitcoin. We are now back below $20,000 for the first time in a few, I want to say in a few months. Or sorry, maybe in a month or so. Because once we got this, like mid-July. Yeah, so July I mean, I guess so. All for the last like week or so, we've been trading right about 20,000, but significantly below 20,000, we really haven't been. Shelly's asking, are Wall Street bets people being sued as well? I don't know. All right, let's check the news on Fubo. Fubo used to be everyone's favorite stock. Now it's I don't really know. Fubo has, I mean, guys, look at this thing. Talk about a drawdown. This thing went from $60 down to $3.50. Let's see the news in here. Fubo NFL. We'll see. No, I didn't short Fubo, Roland. I actually used to. So I was long Fubo because I liked how, so my whole thesis, bull case on live sports in general is that in today's content ecosystem, live sports is one of the only things that people watch live, which makes the advertising slots like that much more valuable. So advertisers don't want to buy ads for reruns of Seinfeld that people are going to watch on, Netflix, or you might record and skip the commercials anyway. Advertisers want commercials on things like sporting events, like presidential debates, where people are watching them live. They have a captive audience. They're not going to go anywhere. So they know that commercial is actually going to be, people are going to see it. It's not just going to be wasted money. And Fubo was kind of the one that said, hey, we're going to take sports streaming seriously and build up this whole platform essentially for sports. Problem is, and I didn't really, I guess, like foresee this or see this when I was buying the stock, was Disney knows this, and Disney was an investor in Fubo, or they had a stake. I don't know if they still do, but Disney owns and operates ESPN, obviously, and they've done a good job of integrating ESPN into Disney Plus. So people use that. People have YouTube TV, and you don't even need any of those things. You can still get ESPN and all your sports on YouTube TV. So I don't know. It's not like if you want to stream sports, Fubo's the only one out there. I still like I still think there might be people out there that will get Fubo instead of YouTube TV because they're like, I don't care about anything else besides sports. I want Fubo. But I do think it might be a little bit too niche of a business model, of a plan to really capture enough of an audience. So we'll see. I'm not super interested in Fubo, even though the stock's down here at 350. Just not my favorite investment right now. ENPH, Enphase Energy. So we did talk about it also a little bit with David. But title of show today, talking about, is the big crash coming? So what you really have to look for there, and we'll get right back to Enphase, I promise. But if you look back on the S&P 500, we need to, before the big crash happens, we need to get back and retest these lows. And here's the good news, is that if and when we do start approaching this lows, we will have a little potential bounce before we do retest those lows, and there will be a trading opportunity there as you see that increased volatility and volume as we approach those lows. So I'm not saying I think we aren't, but looking at the S&P 500 right now, if we do get down to that 380 level, and again, the lows that we saw mid June was about 363, I think. Disney increased its stake in Fubo. Okay. That's good news if you're a Fubo investor, because that was one of the reasons I liked it. I was like, all right, if Disney didn't foresee them as a potential competitor on the sports side, they wouldn't have thrown some money into it. All right, going back to Enphase Energy. I mean, I'm bullish basically all clean energy if you give me a long enough time horizon, right? Even some of these stocks that are still super expensive, still super growthy, that might not be in favor right now. If you said I could buy it, but I'd have to hold it for 10 years, I still would buy it. I like Enphase. I like I'm blanking on the other one right now. All right, guys. This redirect. Yeah, I clean ETF is good. ICLN. We are set to redirect to Mitch. I might end a few minutes early today just to give my voice a little bit of a break. Mitch is going to try and start early here in about 10 minutes. So hopefully y'all hang around for Mitch. He's got a good show coming up. Genevieve, Roche, Dector, as well as... Sorry, I knew that one off the top of my head because I saw her on the calendar, and I'm real excited for that interview. She's coming on at about 1:15. And then Tim Quast. Sorry, no, not Tim Quast. Thomas Hayes. Speaking of, we got to get Tim Quast back on Benzinga Live. We'll get Tim Quast on sometime this week. George, I think Fubo scratched its plan to like fully integrate a sports book. I don't really exactly know, to be quite honest. Company seems kind of in disarray, to be completely honest with you.
Exactly.
All right, y'all. Hope everyone has a good rest of your day. I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully with a little bit more voice, more energy. Till then, love you guys. See you soon.